Imagination Library fundraising event from the as we tell the story of the Imagination Library and its importance to the children of how you can help support early childhood literacy. As Dolly says, you can never get enough books in the hands of enough children.
Welcome everyone! Hello!
Hello!
Welcome to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library fundraiser. The Junior League is with us, Signal Centers, and together we've worked to raise money for books for children. So we're so happy you're here today. My name is Christy Murphy, Donna McConico, Nicole Watson, Melissa White, Sarah, Jeremy Scruggs with blue hair, Zach Winchester with Walden. We've got Varna, Edna Varner, who's with us. She knows all about early childhood education. Samantha's going to be handing out.
I'm going to take money.
You're going to be taking money. That is right.
All about the money today.
And Sandy Lambert is with Signal Center. She's going to keep us organized.
And Mike Slocum, I don't know if you mentioned him or not.
Oh, and Mike Slocum, our development officer. He's the one that goes after all the money.
Well, we're so excited to be here today. This is an amazing cause. To think that every child in Chattanooga and Hamilton County will be able to get books in their homes. This levels the playing field. It gives everybody an opportunity to have access to high quality books. And we can't thank Dolly Parton enough for helping to support this. So today we have Melissa with us, and she is the president of Junior League, who decided to take this on as one of their causes. Melissa, tell us why y'all did this and what you have to say about that.
Yes. So Junior League of Chattanooga's A League of Learners initiative is our community impact initiative that focuses on education and literacy. We're so excited to partner with organizations like Signal Center, who support the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, to get books in the hands of children from an early age. Reading is vital to learning, and learning shapes the educational experience in our community. Junior League of Chattanooga has been in this community for over 100 years, and we look forward to continuing to serve the needs of the community.
Thank you so much. You know, it's said that children learn to read and they spend the rest of their lives reading to learn. And that's what we're here today for. We have a goal, and our hope is to reach $30,000 today. Yeah, that's an ambitious goal.
Yay.
I have to tell you that although the books are free to every family, it costs about $160,000 a year to provide the books. And those funds are matched by the Governor's Early Literacy Foundation. It actually costs about $320,000. So Signal took on the responsibility of raising $160,000 every year, and we're hoping to get a big part of that today.
And Donna, we're so appreciative that Signal has agreed to administer this program for the county. It's such an important program to get the books in the hands of children from 0 to 5, and it's so easy to sign up families, and we're trying to form partnerships all over the city to get more families signed up. So if you're watching today on Facebook Live, please go now and text your friends and tell them to tune in and donate, and we are going to try to raise as much money as possible for this wonderful initiative.
And Nicole, we can't thank you enough for cheering our fundraising efforts. It's really, Nicole Watson stepped forward in the very beginning to make sure that we were able to keep Hamilton County children involved and enrolled in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. We were about to become the only county in the state that didn't have access to books. And we wanted to be able to continue that. And so Signal Center's Board of Directors and staff said, we can do this. but we knew we needed fundraising help, and Nicole stepped forward to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Donna and I were actually in another board meeting together having this discussion, and we looked at each other and we were like, we are not letting Dolly die in Tennessee,
exactly.
and especially not in Hamilton County. So here we are, and we are so pleased with the efforts that we've made so far.
Absolutely.
So I think we have a couple check presentations.
Yeah, we need to recognize our
goals.
sponsors. I think we're gonna kind of get to know exactly who our sponsors are. They're listed right up here.
You can see them.
And we have some of them here today. There's Blue Care, EPB, Hamaco, ACE, Friends of Special Children, Walden Security, Tri-State Drilling, Joanne Yates, Mark Height, AT&T, Thompson Engineering, and of course Signal Centers has done some, as well as Senator Bo Watson, of course. And
Yes, and just a few things is that you can donate live on Facebook. You can go to our website, signalcenters.org, and click on Dolly Parton Imagination Library button and give that way. We also you can donate on Venmo at Signal Centers, hashtag 3804. So we want to do a call to action, don't we? How do we donate?
Absolutely.
We already did that. We want to do a factoid. Just some information. There you go. I know you guys can talk a lot about that.
So the building blocks of language and literacy from in the first 3 years of a child's life is so crucial. In their first year, a child's brain doubles in size, and by age 3, a child's brain is 2 times as active as an adult. So it's so important that they have some form of literacy and reading in the home. And that's why we're here today, to raise money to get those books in those homes, in those mailboxes for free.
absolutely. You know, we often think about early childhood as kindergarten and above. But you know, a child's brain is almost fully developed by the time they enter kindergarten. So making sure that parents have the resources to read to children every day is so important. And there's nothing better than that. I mean, it does so many things other than just early literacy. Anytime a parent pulls a child into their lap and reads them a book, that creates an emotional bond with that parent. It also provides, for many, that bedtime reading experience provides a routine and ritual that helps children feel safe. So I think we've got another video coming up with Dolly.
And we've got plenty of books back here.
Plenty of books, all the Dolly books. No. I do not have children, but I know many friends that have children that have participated in this program, and there are many more ways to sign up your children. And what kid doesn't love getting a book in the mail? It's like a double whammy. You get a book and you get mail. So if you have children 0 to 5 and you are not signed up, we are happy to help you in any way. Just go to the Signal Center's website and we will get you hooked up to sign up.
That's exactly right.
Like The Rainbow Fish.
The Rainbow Fish is a great book.
Like this when I was a kid, so this is wonderful.
I feel like we're all dating ourselves now with the books, because I'm having to look and see what it is.
Exactly.
So I think we have a video now from Dolly.
This is going to be a video that's very inspiring. It's all about Dolly, how she got started with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and we get to hear her sing too. So roll the video.
Dolly Parton's longtime passion project, passing on the gift of reading.
Everywhere I go, the kids call me the book lady. We send these books to them in their little name, with their name on it. They look forward to going to the mailbox. This is theirs, this is mine. So I am going to either learn to read it, or I'm going to make somebody teach me how to read it.
That if children love something, they will continue to do it.
Puff, puff, chug, chug, with the little blue and...
Brilliant. As Dolly said.
Step is the one that's always hardest. But you'll never really know if you don't try. You have to try.
All right. You know, you never really know until you try, and that's what Dolly is all about, and that's what we're doing here. We're trying to raise money for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. We have so many great folks here today and great sponsors.
We do.
How cool to hear from Dolly just now. And thank you so, so much to Hamaco, who has really, really made a huge donation to this foundation in just the past few weeks. And we are so grateful for this $15,000 check from the Hamaco Foundation. And we want to thank all their board members for always being so supportive of all of our initiatives across the county and the city. But this makes a huge difference for this organization. So thank you so much to Hamaco.
Absolutely. And I think this is our largest contribution
so far
for this event. So thank you, Hamaco. Way to go.
Anybody else who wants to try to match Hamaco, let us know. Today's the day.
Absolutely. But we'll take your check tomorrow, too. Okay?
You can still get online right now. You can go to our Facebook page. Tell me a little bit more how we can donate.
Absolutely. You can go to the Facebook page for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library event, and there's a donate button. Of course, we've already shared with you our Venmo account, and you can also send a check to Signal Centers directly with their website. Has the information for their address, and you can donate on the Signal Centers website. So there are numerous ways. And also, if you know one of us personally, we will be happy to take your money and get it to Signal Centers.
Absolutely. And also, you can go to our Facebook Live page, and there's a place to donate under there. Or if you want to make me look really good, you can go to my personal fundraiser on Donna McConaughey's Facebook page. Anyway, I want to say a shout out to these people who have already given today. Stacy Kodak, Carolyn Ferris, Edna Varner.
Yay, Edna. Edna's here today.
We're going to hear from Edna in just a few minutes. Elwanda White, who was our licensing agent for our child care here. Rosemary Hill, a board member. Jennifer Benson, who's a staff member. Janine Carpenter, who works with the Women's Fund. Deb Sosha, the director of the Enterprise Center. Molly Littleton, who started our assistive technology program. Mike Slocum and Kyle Houth, who are both executive officers here at Signal.
And I'm going to add a few more. I know Amber Gardner donated yesterday, and so did Shannon Stevenson, who's the CEO of Simpa Community Cares, just to show that other nonprofits support other nonprofits in our area. So thank you all so, so much.
This touches everybody.
Hi everyone, I just want to remind you, it is easy to share on Facebook as well. So if you see the event pop up, share it on your page so all your people can see it as well on their pages. It's exciting. I saw Bambi donated the other day. It reminded me, and so I could share it and see it all over. So make sure you guys do that as well.
Great.
That's
Let's
wonderful.
Just do one more shout out to our sponsors. We can stand, let's go to a big wide shot so we can see our sponsors. And would you just come back to the camera so we can just look at them? All right, aren't these great? Have you ever seen so many dollies? We've got multiple dollies around here. We can't have enough.
And now I think we have a check presentation.
That's right, we're going to have a check presentation in just a moment. We are going to go to a video first, and we are going to talk about the Governor's Early Literacy Foundation and how important they are.
They're so incredibly important to us because they will match every dollar that you give today. So $25, isn't that great? So your money is doubled if you make a contribution. And if you give $25, that pays for a book a month for a child for a year. So 12 books. But that's double because Guelph will match that fund. So 2 children will get books for a year.
So shout out to Governor Lee and Miss Maria Lee for continuing this from the past administrations and administrations before them. So thank you all very much for seeing the importance in this program in the state.
Absolutely.
Well, let's roll the video about Guelph and learn some more information about the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Did you know? Every dollar donated to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library pays for books. Over 12,000 children in Hamilton County receive free books each month. $25 buys a book a month for a child for an entire year. Every donation to DPIL is matched 100% by the Governor's Early Literacy Foundation.
So originally the Governor's Books from Birth Foundation was begun in 2004 by then Governor Bredesen as a method through which the state legislature could provide funding for 50% of the to end every child across the state that was enrolled in the program between the ages of birth and 5. So children would receive 1 book every month from the time they enrolled, hopefully very soon after birth, through their 5th birthday. And our foundation was tasked with managing those state grant funds, raising additional private dollars, and working with a local 501c3 organization in each county to provide this program to children so that our children across the state would have access to books, would be introduced to the love of learning and reading, and would be better prepared to enter kindergarten and therefore have future academic and life success. The uniqueness of the program that Dolly started, it introduces children and families to the importance of engaging with books. That does ultimately lead to reading, and it does ultimately lead to vocabulary, critical thinking. So the economics of investing in introducing children to books and helping them and their families learn the importance of lifelong learning and imagination and exploration is critical to the future of our state. It is one of the largest return on investments anybody can make. So it is critically important that the community support this effort and all of the other efforts around giving our children, our next generation, our future. And this is the easiest and most cost-effective investment you can make.
So our next sponsor we want to talk about is here with us from Blue Care. Jeremy, can you tell us a little information about it?
Yeah, so on behalf of Blue Care Tennessee, we'd like to donate this check to Dolly Parton Imagination Library for the high quality books that they provide to Hamilton County students across Tennessee.
Well, awesome. And in exchange for that, we'd love to give you the little engine that could. It's one of our favorites. Now, great. Jeremy, I understand that your son goes here as well?
Yes, my son's 3 years old. He goes here at Signal Center, and he participates in all the activities, and he is also a recipient of the Imagination book. So
I love it. Does he have a favorite book?
Oh, yeah. He actually enjoys the little engine that could, which is the first book that kids receive in the Imagination Library.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. We couldn't do it without you. Thanks so much.
And I want to say thank you to Blue Care, too. They've been a sponsor of every early literacy thing we've ever done.
And she is involved with everything in Chattanooga, and she knows everything about early childhood education. And Donna, this is one of your good friends.
This is a good friend. We serve on a number of boards together, but Edna's claim to fame is early literacy. She is the person who really helps us remember that it's about learning, about a love of reading. And Edna works for the Public Education Foundation. She's on the board of Read 20. She's on the board of the Ox Center. She's on the board of United Way, I believe. and anyway, she does a lot of things to make sure our community takes care of young children. Edna, can you just tell us about why that's so important to you?
Well, I actually taught middle school, but what I experienced every year was not just that children came to middle school not knowing how to read, but they didn't come to middle school with that important love of reading. One of my favorite quotes is from Albert Einstein, and he said, "Logic will get you from A to B, but reading and imagination will get you everywhere." And so that is why I have to remind people that when children get to school, a lot of schooling is about skill building, but they need to bring to that skill building a love for reading. They need to continue developing that love of reading, but they need to come with it. And that's why it's so important that from birth to 5, we make sure children have plenty of opportunities to love reading. They will develop the skills, but it won't be fulfilling their whole lives if they don't develop the love of reading.
That is amazing. Now, Edna is a great reader, too, I have to tell you that. And one of the things that I've been fortunate enough to hear her read children's books quite frequently, and it's amazing. But what advice would you give to parents who have these books in their possession? How could they best maximize their child's love of reading?
Well, there are lots of opportunities to have access to books, and we're certainly providing one. But I would just ask parents to read to their children. If they struggle with reading themselves, there are lots of opportunities to have others read. There are television programs, there are library sources to read. And then this is something else I encourage. I encourage parents to get with other parents to read books, to develop a love of reading if they didn't learn to develop that. I remember when I was teaching middle school, lots of the kids came in and they said they hated reading. And so I just started reading to them. Big old football players would come in. You gonna read one of those books today? And I mean, we started with mythology and fairy tales, books full of imagination. Every month we would have a theme, and kids would actually ask to take home books that I know they couldn't read yet, but they just loved reading. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to make sure they come to skill building with a love of reading. And so parents, folks in the neighborhood, we used to have lots of front porches, and I hate that we don't have front porches anymore, but in your neighborhood, just sit out in the yard with a book and invite the kids to come by and have you read a story.
That's so wonderful. Edna's been promoting reading her whole life. And I have to say that we both serve on the board of Read 20. And the idea of that is read 20 minutes a day. There's research that shows that if you will read 20 minutes a day with your child, they will develop not only that love of reading, but also an inquiring mind. They'll be inquisitive. They'll have dreams, and they'll be able to think about things outside of themselves. So thank you so much for being here with us today. That's incredibly important.
Before we let Edna go, I'm going to ask that she makes a call to action to all of her friends and people watching to donate to this program as well. So Donna has a mic for you. You'll make a shout out and a plea.
All right, here's my shout out. You know I know you. I know your phone number and your email address. Listen, think of what you could give and then double that. And that will demonstrate how important you think it is for kids to develop that love of reading. They need books in their hands, folks. They need access to people who love reading. Tell them your story about reading, and that will help them develop that love for reading. So like I said, I know you. I know your phone number. I know your email. I'm coming for you.
Thank you.
Please give.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Edna's already given. She gave long before she arrived today, so she'll be calling you. I have to say that Nicole Watson also serves on the Read 20 board, and that's where we first started talking about, could Signal Centers possibly take on this huge challenge of raising the money so that every child in Hamilton County has the ability to read.
And of course the action was, yes, we will, 1,000%. So here we all are today.
And here we are, absolutely. And not only do you need to double your contribution, as Edna said, but the Governor's Early Learning Foundation will match any dollar you give. So if you double yours, then they'll double that. So you'll be providing lots of books.
And I gave this morning, but I will double what I gave this morning.
Woo!
That is so. Will you stay with us in case you need to, encourage people at the very end to give? Because I know you can get them to do what they need to do.
Nobody can say no to Edna Varner, so that's great.
So don't forget,
I want it to be hard.
You can donate via Facebook now, on the Signal Center's webpage, and via Venmo, or mail us a check, or just find one of us. So now I think we have another factoid to go to.
All right, Edna, you want to read the factoid?
Oh, okay. I can read it. Children introduced to reading early on tend to read earlier and excel in school compared to children who are not exposed to language and books at a young age.
So true. That's wonderful.
All right, I think we're going to head over this way.
Well, we're going to do a video first.
Excellent.
So a lot of kids get their books read to them at bedtime.
Yeah.
What a great way for parents and family members to bond with their children. And we're going to play a video of Dolly, and yes, she's reading a book in bed.
I'm Dolly Parton, the book lady from the Imagination Library, and I'm going to be reading a very special book today. This is called The Little Engine That Could. This book is so special, it's celebrating its 90th anniversary. It was written by Waddy Piper and illustrated by Dan Santat. Are you ready to read this special book? Well, here I go. Chug, 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 puff, 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 ding dong, the little train rumbled over the tracks. She was a happy little train, for she had such a jolly load to carry. Her cars were filled full of good things for boys and girls. There were toy animals, giraffes with long necks, teddy bears with almost no necks at all, and even a baby elephant. Then there were dolls. Dolls with blue eyes and yellow curls, dolls with brown eyes and brown bobbed heads, and the funniest little toy clown you ever saw. And there were cars full of toy engines, airplanes, tops, jackknives, picture puzzles, books, and every kind of thing boys or girls could want. But that was not all. Some of the cars were filled with all sorts of good things for boys and girls to eat. Big golden oranges, red-cheeked apples, bottles of creamy milk for their breakfasts, fresh spinach for their dinners, peppermint drops, and lollipops for after-meal treats. The little train was carrying all these wonderful things to the good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain. She puffed along merrily, then all of a sudden she stopped with a jerk. She simply could not go another inch. She tried and she tried, but her wheels would not turn. What were all those good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain going to do without the wonderful toys to play with and the good food to eat? "Here comes a shiny new engine," said the funny little clown who jumped out of the train. "Let us ask him to help us." So all the dolls and toys cried out together, "Please, shiny new engine, won't you please pull our train over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or good food to eat unless you help us." But the shiny new engine snorted, "I pull you? I am a passenger engine. I have just carried a fine big train over the mountain with more cars than you ever dreamed of. My train has sleeping cars with comfortable berths, a dining car where waiters bring whatever hungry people want to eat, and parlor cars in which people sit in soft armchairs and look out of big plate glass windows. I pull the likes of you? Indeed not." And off he steamed to the roundhouse where engines live when they're not busy. How sad the little train and all the dolls and toys felt. Then the little clown called out, "The passenger engine is not the only one in the world. Here is another engine coming, a great big strong one. Let us ask him to help us." The little toy clown waved his flag, and the big, strong engine came to a stop. "Please, oh please, big engine," cried all the dolls and toys together. "Won't you please pull our train over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the good little boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or good food to eat unless you help us." But the big, strong engine bellowed, "I am a freight train. I've just pulled a big train loaded with big machines over the mountain. These machines print books and newspapers for grown-ups to read. I'm a very important engine indeed. I won't pull the likes of you." And the freight train puffed off indignantly to the roundhouse. The little train and all the dolls and toys were very sad. "Cheer up," cried the little toy clown. "The freight engine is not the only one in the world. Here comes another. He looks very old and tired, but our train is so little, perhaps he can help us." So the little toy clown waved his flag, and the dingy, rusty old engine stopped. "Please, kind engine," cried all the dolls and toys together, "won't you please pull our train over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or good food to eat unless you help us." But the rusty old engine sighed. "I'm too tired. I must rest my weary wheels. I cannot pull even so little a train as yours over the mountain. I cannot. And off indeed the little train was very, very sad, and the dolls and toys were ready to cry. But the little clown called out, "Here is another engine coming, a little blue engine, a very little one. Maybe she'll help us." The very little engine came chug, chug, chugging merrily along. When she saw the toy clown's flag, she stopped quickly. "What is the matter, my friends?" she asked kindly. "Oh, little blue engine," cried the dolls and toys, "will you pull us over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the good boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or good food to eat unless you help us. Please, please help us, little blue engine." "I'm not very big," said the little blue engine. "They use me only for switching trains in the yard. I've never been over the mountain." "But we must get over the mountain before the children are awake," said all the dolls and toys. The very little engine looked up and saw the tears in the doll's eyes, and she thought of the good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain who would not have any toys or good food unless she helped. Then she said, "I think I can. I think I can. I think I can." And she hitched herself to the little train. She tugged and pulled and pulled and tugged, and slowly, slowly they started off. The toy clown jumped aboard, and all the dolls and toy animals began to smile and cheer. Puff, puff, chug, chug went the little blue engine. "I think I can, I 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 think I can." Up, 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 up. Faster and faster and faster the little engine climbed, until at last they reached the top of the mountain. Down in the valley lay the city. "Hooray, hooray!" cried the funny little clown and all the dolls and toys. "The good little boys and girls in the city will be happy because you helped us, kind little blue engine." And the little blue engine smiled and seemed to say, as she puffed steadily down the mountain, "I thought I could, I 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 thought I could." Isn't that fun? I even wrote a song about this little book. It goes, "Whoa, whoa, 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 I can do it, so can you. Whoa, 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 I believe in you." And I do, too. Good night.
Hey, welcome back. It's great. Wasn't that a great video? Welcome back to the Facebook fundraiser for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library for Hamilton County. And we've had a couple other people donate online. I gave a list earlier, but Kim Hinkey has made a contribution, and VJ Canabar. And so we want to thank them. In addition to some great sponsors. And Mike Slocum, our Chief Development Officer, is here to talk about one of the major sponsors.
We want to give a great shout of thanks to Tom Glenn and all of the crew at Elders Ace Hardware for their support of Dolly Parton Imagination Library. Ace has been a long-time partner with Signal Centers, and we're really grateful for everything they do.
Woo! Way to go, Tom Glenn. Thank you. And Ace Hardware, always. They support everything in the community, but they have been a long-term supporter of Dolly Parton Imagination Library for Hamilton County as well. All right.
Before I turn us over to this next video, I just want to share with you what I loved about the books that came to my house. I have a 10-year-old now, so it's been a 5-year period of mourning since I've gotten the books. But
I loved that you got classic books and new books you would have never thought of. So one of my daughter's favorite was called Minosaur. And in it, it's learning about sharing. And there's a dinosaur in there that goes, mine, 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 and learns that that's not the thing to say. But today, what I want to say to everybody is give, give, give. All right?
That's great, Samantha.
So instead of the Minosaur, we're going to have the Give-a-saur today.
That sounds perfect.
And oh, we're halfway. We are over halfway to our goal. That's amazing. So it'd be great if we can get that. We're just excited. We're going to get there today. I know we are.
I think we're going to double our goal today. So
yes.
And Samantha, I thank you for sharing about your personal experience with that. One of the great things about the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, about reading to children, is that it creates empathy. And that's what you're talking about. When this dinosaur said, mine, 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 your child learned not to do that.
That's right. Well, it took a little while, but eventually she got that it wasn't a role model. But, you know, when I talk about giving, one of the people I think about here in town is my good friend, Senator Bo Watson. He, of course, is the senator for Hamilton County from District 11. A huge community supporter, chair of the Finance Committee in the Senate. He puts his money where the things are that he values, and he surely values literacy. So I have a video of Senator Watson reading here, so we'll go to that, and then I might be able to get the senator live today. I'm excited about that.
So. We'd love to have Senator Watson here. Thank you.
The book I'm going to read today is called Good Night, Tennessee. Good morning, the Great Smoky Mountains. Are you ready to share a wonderful day? Happy springtime, black bear cubs. Do you see the ladybug? You see it? Good morning, Tennessee River. Riverboats still ride on the Mississippi, Cumberland, and Tennessee rivers. You know, the Tennessee River runs right through downtown Chattanooga. Good night, storytellers, sharing ideas about friendly Tennessee. Sleep tight, children. Thank you for sharing a wonderful day. Good night, Tennessee.
Well done. Good job. I mean, that wasn't too challenging of a book for you to read, but you did a great job with it.
Well, so. I can read a little bit, yeah. It's a good book for me.
Well, of course you are. So I'm so glad that you're here today, and you've brought something for me, haven't you, Senator?
I have. I have brought you a $1,000 check, but based on the conversation today, I think Nicole and I will match that, and we'll contribute another $1,000. So
excellent!
You can make it $2,000. So there you go. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Senator. Now, yes.
Oh, okay, yes.
Now, I know you're not just a big fan of literacy, but you're also a fan of Dolly. And I want to share some trivia about you, if you don't mind. I don't know if everybody knows this in Tennessee. Can I share some trivia?
Sure. Yes.
Senator Watson has a wonderful, spirited dog named Willa Dean. And tell me what that name Willa Dean came from.
Well, there are two parts to the story. First of all, the dog we had before Willa Dean was named Dolly, after Dolly Parton. And, of course, Dolly has a sister who's named Willa Dean. And so, of course, we named our second dog Willa Dean. So I don't know Dolly's sister, but if she has the amount of energy that our Willa Dean has, then she's a pretty spirited individual.
That's right. And I know if your Willa Dean was here, she would be telling everybody to give, give, give. And the way to do that, I want to make sure y'all know, today in the Facebook Live event, you can donate on our Facebook page. You can click fundraisers. You can go to the Signal Centers and click the Dolly link. And we also have Venmo. That information is on the screen right now at Signal Centers, pound 3804. So please give and help us hit our goal today. And I think we've got another check-in. If I'm right, we're going to go over here to Miss Sarah. Okay. Oh, good.
I can ask a question. Why is early literacy so important to you? I mean, you and Nicole have just really invested in this a lot.
Well, there are a lot of things we can do for people. We can provide various types of resources, but the one gift that we can give to people that will serve them throughout their lifetime more than any other thing we can do, and that is teaching them to read. Yeah. The ability to read is the most critical skill any citizen should have. Edna Varner was talking about
kids when they get to school and education. You know, we know that by the 3rd or 4th grade, if a child isn't reading on grade level, statistically they probably never will read on grade level. It's critical that children start early, familiarizing themselves with reading, with words, so that when they get to school, for the first 3 years, they learn how to read. For the rest of their life, they read to learn. School is a great asset, but there is no greater gift than reading. And you know, the Tennessee General Assembly and the governor just finished a very special session back in January that was focused entirely on literacy.
Wow.
And we are reformatting the whole way we deliver reading in the state of Tennessee, because we know that 35% of our students reading on grade level is unacceptable.
Right.
We must do better, and this is a great way to start. Introducing books to children in their homes helps not only the child, but helps the parent and the family, because there's nothing that can unite people more around the kitchen table, or around the fireplace, or around a chair, is mom or dad or whomever the caregiver is reading to their children. So I encourage you to take advantage of the gift that the Imagination Library gives. And I want to thank, on behalf of your fellow 6.8 million Tennesseans, I want to thank the Signal Centers, because you are part of a collective effort all across the state.
Well, it is our honor to do that. And I have to say, Senator Watson, you've been involved in almost every education initiative across our state for years. And it's really great that you chose to support this early childhood piece, because as you know, 85% of brain is developed before a kid ever enters kindergarten. And so having this literacy, pre-literacy skills is really important. But thank you for your service too.
Oh,
we
it's my
appreciate
pleasure
it.
and honor. Yeah.
Woohoo!
We got another check, Donna.
We have another check over here. We'll pitch over here and talk about EPB.
Great. So our next supporter is EPB, and we have Elizabeth with us. Elizabeth, can you tell us a little more about EPB and their mission in the city?
Absolutely, and thank you so much for having us here. It's an honor to support this initiative. Our mission at EPB is to increase the quality of life for the people we serve. And the work that Signal Centers is doing is an amazing way for us to continue that work. It's also part of our charge as a public utility to support economic development. And there is little more that is more important than a workforce that is ready. And being able to read is certainly front and center in that. So for us, this program makes perfect sense to support, and we are so proud to be here.
Well, we couldn't thank you enough for your support. We love you guys in the city and the work that you continue to do. So we want to say thank you so much. And you guys are EPB, the little engine that could in the city. So we appreciate it, which is great. Elizabeth, do you have a favorite book?
I sure do have a favorite book, and this happens to be it, The Little Engine That Could. And the reason is that it teaches persistence and that can-do attitude, and if you think you can, you can.
Yep, we love it. And that's how we feel about today. If you think you can give today, you can give today.
Sarah and Elizabeth, thank you so much. And this is the little fundraiser that could. And we're here to try to make sure that we can provide a book to every single child in Hamilton County every month. So donate today to help fund that. But also, if you have children under the age of 5, go to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library and enroll them. So they'll start today getting those books once a month. We're excited about that.
Hey, Donna, let's talk about where we are, actually. We're on the Signal Center campus on our playground.
We are.
Which is adaptable for all kinds of children and everyone that takes advantage of Signal Center. So this is a beautiful, beautiful facility. So thank you all so much for hosting us today.
Well, and we're really glad that our children were willing to give it up for a few hours. Actually, it's lunchtime and soon to be nap time. Don't you wish you could have a nap this afternoon?
but we were so sorry. We said, children, you can't be out here on the playground today.
We're raising money for you, so it'll
all work out. That's right.
So now I think we have a teacher.
We do. We're going to have a teacher, and I have to say, Signal Centers, our program for early childhood goes from 6 weeks of age to 5 years of age. And the children that we have here at Signal, 85% of our children qualify for free or reduced lunch. We have a mix of children with disabilities, children who are typically developing, children who get funding from subsidies, and children who private pay with child care. So today we're going to show you a video of some of our teachers. Our teachers are amazing. They do an incredible job of early literacy. And every day, all throughout the day, children have access to high quality books. I think you're going to hear from some of them right now.
Taylor, what type of book do you have there? And tell me how much you love Dolly Parton.
This is Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors books. When I was a teacher in the room, I used to read it to my kids and then we'd listen to her song. And I love Dolly. She's such a positive inspiration, and the Imagination Library provides such an excellent service for all of the little ones so that they can read.
Good golly, do I love Dolly. She is so genuine, so wonderful. I just love her message and how she is so passionate about everything she does.
Oh, it's extremely important, even just from infancy, just hearing somebody read books and show you those images. It creates imagination, promotes language development.
So I feel like being involved as a parent and a teacher helps even more, and it keeps them educated throughout life.
What's your children's favorite book?
My children's favorite book is anything about unicorns. They like ponies.
Hey, welcome back. And wasn't that great to see our teachers reading? Pam Hudson is the Director of Children's Services here at Signal. She does an amazing job to make sure that we have a really robust literacy program. Can you talk a little bit about that and why that's important, Pam?
Yes, Donna, you are right. We have a superstar staff that embrace and believe and know from their training that early literacy is the key to the children's making progress every day. And you can walk in the classrooms at any given time and you will see children loving it in the little snuggly reading area, or they'll be on a teacher's lap and they're being read to. And then we've got a great superstar coordinator who created this program called FIRST. So she trains parents in what to do with their children when they're not here.
Excellent.
Reading is one of the key things that they do.
Yeah, and you know, we love being able to introduce children to books here, but it seems like it's really important for families to carry that over into the home too. Is that correct?
It is correct. And we are seeing our parents actually doing that. They have loved the books that we have sent home with them, and they bring them back and trade them in for more. And they are just loving becoming better readers themselves.
Absolutely. And you know, kids don't care. They're not reading along with you. So if you're struggling with the words, it really doesn't matter. You can tell the story from the pictures, and they get the same sense of this is a story that we're telling about. You know, my daughter came here. Jamie McConaughey is 22 now, and she came here at age 2 and learned so many things in the inclusive environment. And she has developed a love of reading. She was one of the first kids to get the Dolly Parton Imagination Library books. And to this day, in college, I have to say that her love of reading and her commitment to reading continues. So it's really exciting. So I think we're going to, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about children's services and early literacy?
Well, just one last thing about early literacy. Senator Bo Watson was talking about the importance of it and how a love of reading has such a positive impact on children. But also, if they don't learn, the research shows if they're not reading by the 3rd grade, and this is one of the things that inspired Dolly, is the likelihood for them to graduate from high school is very limited.
Right.
So this is so important. It's all good. There's not a thing negative about this at all.
Yeah. And that's important. We're now going to go over to Samantha, and I think you've got a special check from Walden Security and Zach. Yeah! Hooray!
Yeah, thank you so much. You know, Walden Security, Amy and Mike Walden, huge community supporters. And today we have Zach.
Zach Winchester, yes ma'am.
Zach Winchester from Walden Security, and you brought me something, didn't you?
I did, yes. I'd like to say I did, but we did, Walden. I'm
going to give you all the credit.
We're proud to support Signal Centers, Dolly's Imagination Library, and the initiative of early childhood literacy, and we're truly honored and humbled to be aligned with such impactful organizations and initiatives.
Wonderful. So let me take that money off your hands. I'm going to give you this book. Now, you have children that are a little bit younger than my 10-year-old. Is that right?
I've got a 6 and a 7-year-old daughter. My 7-year-old turns 8 next week.
Okay, well, I'm a lawyer in my day job, so I've got a question for you. Do you read every page when you read to them at bedtime?
Every diacritical mark in the book, yes.
Because how quickly have they memorized some of these books they've gotten from the Dolly Parton Imagination Library?
Unfortunately, that's bittersweet, as we've already received our last book, but the Llama and Goodnight series have left tremendous memories.
Great. Yeah, I know, it's incredible. One of the most important things as a parent, an important skill is to figure out how to stay awake while reading to them at bedtime. I sometimes fell asleep in the middle of books. So
team effort.
It is for sure. So thank you guys so much. Amy, Mike Walden, Walden Security, so generous. Thank you guys so much, and for coming out today, Zach. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm going to give it back over to the center stage here. Hopefully you guys have some more updates for me, and let's get some more money.
Samantha and Zach, thank you so much. We can't thank Walden Security enough for what they've done. All the corporate sponsors have been just amazing. So we want to thank you and give you an incredible appreciation. I think it'd be time to recognize our major donors again, if we can. Hamaco, ACE, Blue Care, EPB, Walden Security, AT&T, Tri-State Drilling, Joanne Yates, Senator Watson, Thompson Engineering, and Mark Height. We haven't even talked about Mark Height. He did a great
Mark
job.
is such. Mark gave $1,000 just on a whim. One ask. He is such a great community partner for so many events. So thank you so much, Mark, Height, and team, for all that you've done for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Absolutely.
We've got Edna back here with us today to talk a little bit more about early education and how you can still give. We still have time, but we are so close to our goal, Edna.
Okay, don't let us miss that goal. You know, it really doesn't take a lot of money to give a kid a gift that keeps on giving his whole life, and that is the gift of reading. When you learn to love, we talked a lot about learning to read and reading to learn. What you really learn as you take that gift of reading from an early age is that you are open to so many opportunities. I remember I was blessed to be born into a family that valued reading, learning to read. I did a lot of early reading in comic books, used all of my little allowance on the annual comic books. But I remember as I grew older, I used that reading to read about places that I wanted to go. And I've been to a lot of those places, to read about people I wanted to know. Some of them still alive, some I could never meet. But it's just such a wonderful gift. And a book does not cost that much. All you have to do is give the gift of reading, and you give a gift for a lifetime. A book is so inexpensive that there is no one who will find it impossible to give. So as I said, give what you can, and then double that if you can.
Well, think about how many books you can buy for $25 or $125. It's amazing.
$125 buys 60 books, which gives a book a month to a child from birth to their 5th birthday. And if you give $125, that will be doubled by the Governor's Early Learning Foundation. So that's 120 books you will give for $125. Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
You can fill a child's bedroom with books. We've heard parents talk about how excited kids are when they get that book and it has their name on it, and they treasure it forever. And children are always telling me about their favorite books. There are millions of their favorite books, and you've given them that gift.
So before we skip over to our next check presentation, if you don't have children, you can still go ahead and sign up your nieces, nephews, grandchildren. We can help you, and then it will be a little surprise for them in their mailbox. But I think we have another check presentation now. We're going to turn it over to Sarah.
Hey everyone, we have Thompson Engineering over here with Sharon, and we are so excited that we are getting a big, massive checks from them as well. So Sharon, can you tell us a little bit why Thompson Engineering took this on?
Sure. Years ago, the Thompson Foundation was created to support local agencies in the communities that we serve. When we realized Signal Centers would be managing the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, we knew it would be a great fit for us. We doubled down a few years ago and focused on STEM-related programs, and we understand the connection between reading at an early age and STEM education. So it's our pleasure to donate.
I think it's a great fit because there's so many books that Dolly sends out about building and engineering, and so Thompson is just the perfect couple for that as well. So tell me, do your children and grandchildren, are they a part of this program? Have they received the books?
They have. I have 2 sons that actually received the books when they were younger, and now our grandchildren receive them as well.
Do they have a favorite book that they used to read to them?
Mama, Do You Love Me was my favorite book. I'm not sure if it was theirs, but they heard it every night.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're so grateful for the support that you guys have given us, and we couldn't be happier.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. And Sarah, thank you as well.
Sharon, come over.
I want to suggest.
Yeah, here's an
Okay, I just thought of an idea I want to suggest. I went to a school once, and parents wanted to honor their children's birthdays or honor the teachers. So what they decided to do to honor the birthday was to give a book. So how about honoring the birthdays of everybody in your company by donating a book or making a donation during the month of their birthday? What an exciting gift both to them and to a child who will love reading his or her whole life.
That's
Look at
amazing.
Edna coming in off the top rope at the end.
You know,
Thank you so much, Edna.
Edna, I want to share that my sister, who lives up in New Jersey, she gave today in honor of our grandmothers who were both teachers. One of whom was a 3rd grade teacher who tutored. So think about those important teachers and family members in your lives and give in their honor and celebrate their memories today, just like Edna suggests. It will mean so much.
Awesome.
I can tell you that teachers nothing would make a teacher feel more proud than to know that one of her students gave a book in her honor, made a contribution to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library in her or his honor. And I just want to thank everybody. I tell you, proud mama moment for me. My daughter Jamie was the very first person to donate to the Imagination Library. When she heard that 22 years of age, you know they don't donate a lot, but she when she heard that Signal Centers was going to take on the challenge of raising the funds for this, she said, "Mom, I want to give." And that kid gave $50 to support the Imagination Library, knowing that she had been a recipient. She wanted to make sure that 2 kids got books this year.
Donna, I know that we're wrapping up, but we have one more exciting announcement. So I don't know if a lot of you have heard of the Women of Distinction organization here in the city of Chattanooga. There's about 30 women of distinction, over 300, there's 300 applicants, 300 women of distinction. Over 30 years this program has been going on. This year, at their event in the fall, all the proceeds from that event, and I think that Donna and Edna and I have all been honored by them, all the proceeds from that event, from the Women of Distinction event, is coming back to the Dolly Parton Imagination
Library.
Huge.
So that's an amazing announcement.
Amazing.
I can't thank them enough.
So thank you so much to the board of the Women of Distinction organization for agreeing to do that. We are so honored. And as you can see, we have all of our sponsors and volunteers from the fundraising committee up here with us today. We have met our goal.
Absolutely.
What is that goal? What have we raised? Are you ready?
We have actually, if I can tell you this, doubled our goal.
And we are not finished yet, because you can donate online, Venmo, send checks from now on, and we will keep that live link for you.
And what is the dollar price
Well,
that we raised?
we've already raised, I know, $55,000 that we have in hand. We know it's going to hit 60 before this day is over, because a couple of people have announced what they're going to do here. So our goal was $30,000, and we're already well past that. So thank you so much. That's a third of the year paid for. So if you can think of that, that's 4 months of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Junior League, all of our sponsors,
and our fundraising committee.
Nicole, fundraising committee.
Nicole, would you just call out the members of the fundraising committee who worked on this so hard?
So as Donna said earlier, Donna and I got together at another board meeting. We were not going to let this organization or this foundation die in Hamilton County, so here we are. And then we recruited Samantha Lunn with Hush Blackwell, and then Sarah Arata, who we worked with the Junior League of Chattanooga, and she works with West Rock as well. And then we have Linda Hood with the Chattanooga Bar Association, Caroline Walker, and Armando Rodriguez, who have also been instrumental, even though some of them couldn't be here with us today. So that's our fundraising committee.
And of course, Nicole has been leading that effort. So thank you so much, Nicole. And thank y'all. What a great job. What a great job. We want to give a shout out to our marketing team. They've done an amazing job today.
Amanda, turn your camera around and let's see.
Show those guys.
Hey, let's take a look. You know what? They're under shade. I don't know how they managed to do that.
Yeah, we've now mortified Amanda.
We need to take that shot so we can see you. Woo, yes.
Okay, guys, as we sign off, donate, donate, donate. This will be live on the Signal Center webpage, right?
Right. We'll put it on YouTube
and Facebook.
And Facebook.
Okay.
So you can take a look and see all the great things that have happened today. But again, we thank this community for making sure that Hamilton County children all get to be enrolled and get a book a month from the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. Thanks.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Congratulate you on achieving yet another milestone for the Imagination Library. You've brought so much joy to so many families, and for that, I just simply want to say thank you from the bottom